We know that length can be measured with units such as centimeters, meters, and kilometers. Let's explore how we can change our measurements from greater units to smaller units. Helen and Gwen are trying to make necklaces, and they have gone to a store to buy the cord that they need. They've discovered that the black, gold, and silver cords are all sold with different measurements. Helen thinks all of the cord is the same length. Gwen thinks that centimeters and millimeters are different from meters, so all of the lengths will be different. Let's find out who is correct. We can use the place value chart to help us compare metric measurements. The unit we are using to measure length, the meter, matches with the ones place. As we move to the left on the place value chart, each digit becomes greater. To the right, each digit becomes smaller. In a place value chart, a digit to the left is 10 times greater than the one to the right. The same is true about a metric measurement chart. A decameter is 10 times greater than a meter, the same way that a 10 is 10 times greater than a 1. A hectometer is 10 times greater than a decameter, the same way that 100 is 10 times greater than 10. And a kilometer is 10 times greater than a hectometer, the same way that 1,000 is 10 times greater than 100. A kilometer is 1,000 times greater than a meter because 10 times 10 times 10 equals 1,000. The same holds true for the decimal side of a place value chart. A meter is 10 times greater than a decimeter, the same way that ones are 10 times greater than tenths. A decimeter is 10 times greater than a centimeter, and a centimeter is 10 times greater than a millimeter. A meter is 100 times greater than a centimeter because 10 times 10 equals 100. Instead of using a metric measurement chart with all of the prefixes, let's take a look at abbreviations. The abbreviation for meter is M, and you can see the M in all of our abbreviations. There are two abbreviations you want to be careful with, the decameter and the decimeter. The decameter uses the D-A-M, while the decimeter uses just the D and the M, so be careful with those. The black cord is 4 6/10 meters long. That is the same as 4 meters plus 6/10 meters. And we can put that on our chart as 4 meters and 6/10 decimeters, spreading it out the same way we would if we were writing units or ones places for the 4 and tenths for the 6. The gold cord is 46 millimeters long. We need to make sure that the 6 is in the millimeters column, and the 4 would be in the centimeters column. The silver cord is 460 centimeters long. We need to make sure that it also ends in the centimeters column, with the 4 in the meters and the 6 in the decimeters. Let's go back to our original question. Helen and Gwen are not sure if these are still the same length or if they are different lengths, so we need to make some conversions. We look at our black and our gold, and it looks like 4 6/10 is less than 46, but we have forgotten to include the measurement units. We need to make sure and notice that 4 6/10 meters is greater than 46 millimeters. If you notice on our chart, 4 6/10 is farther to the left, and the farther to the left you go, the greater the dimension is. Because our smallest unit is in millimeters, let's go ahead and convert the 4 6/10 meters into millimeters. We can do that by multiplying because meters are 10 times, another 10 times, and another 10 times greater than millimeters, which would be the same as 1,000 times greater. 4 6/10 times 1,000 equals 4,600. Let's make sure and keep that metric unit in there so that we know that it is 4 6/10 meters times 1,000 equals 4,600 millimeters. We can change that on our metric measurement chart, and we now know that 4 6/10 meters is equivalent to 4,600 millimeters. Because 4,600 millimeters is greater than 46 millimeters, we now know for a fact that the black is longer than the gold. Now we need to compare the silver cord. We know that centimeters are 10 times greater than millimeters, so we can multiply that 460 centimeters times 10, and that gives us 4,600 millimeters. Once again, 460 centimeters is equivalent to 4,600 millimeters, and we can change that on our metric measurement chart. Helen and Gwen have figured out the answer. Helen's thoughts about all of the cord being the same length was not correct because all of it wasn't. The 46 millimeters for the gold cord was much shorter than the other two cords. Helen's idea that centimeters and millimeters are different from meters, so all of the lengths will be different, was not quite right either. All of the lengths were not different, though the black and the silver cords were the same once everything was converted. Measurement of length can be expressed with different unit sizes because we can convert from larger to smaller units by using multiplication. When we convert between measurement units, the length of the item remains the same.